Hey guys, welcome to the install video for Pinball Emporium 3.6. This is a nice update. We're adding dual screens and a bunch of other things. So let's just get started with it. So the first thing we're going to do, we'll take a look at the README. What we got going in 3.6 from 3.5 is Xbox controllers and X input has been corrected. Young Frankenstein backlash is fixed. That was having issues in 3.5. Elvis was just completely missing from 3.5. Future Pinball desktop mode is better. It's been corrected. And then as far as things that have been added, so we now have second and third screen monitor media for the front end, which we'll go over a little later, but it looks really nice. It really brings it together, especially if you're running a cabinet setup. Menu images now hide after 5 seconds. So when you're, in attraction mode or just want to see the table play, the menu is going to disappear and you're going to be able to watch the table field. We've included I can't spell include. We included media menu files for FX3 Volume 6, so the 3 additional tables that are now available. We've cleaned up future pinball tables. There's now a total of 41. We have additional VFX tables and some that have switched to pinup. We have 95 of those and 58 of the pinup tables now included. And then also a last minute update is that Pinball FX3 for Steam support is now included, and the installer will help you run through that on how to set that up. And you're about to watch a video on how that's done. So that's how many tables we have now. We're up to 302 in this pack if you own all the ones on Steam. So let's jump into it. All right, so to get a few things out of the way, we're going to look at your display settings. This was kind of overlooked in the last update, but it's something that always needs to be checked. Pinball Emporium expects your monitors to be side by side, and the setup currently wants two 1080p setups. If you have something other than 1080p for either of these monitors, we do have a few common ones ready to go. So if we look at these, actually we'll look at the... So what's included is 1920 by 1080 backglass, 1600 by 900, 1366 by 768, and 1280 by 720. Now that's just for the backglass. If you also have a different playing field or none of these backglasses, I'll post a video below on how to change that. We now have a new Google Doc set up to help you do that kind of stuff. But this is how you should have your displays set up. They should be side by side. Your playing field should be on the left. Your backglass should be on the right, and they should both read 100% down here. This solves a lot of people. I know a lot of people want to make this monitor vertical so that it looks right when you're on a cabinet, but most of the software wants you to be like this, and then all the changes are done in software. So if you have a cabinet set up and your playing fields end up upside down, the way you can fix that is your display orientation. You want this to be landscape flipped. So if your playing field is upside down, this is what you want to change it to. Finally, you're going to have an issue launching FX2 tables. And I've already made it go away, so was it Defender? Windows Security. All right. So for some reason, this API file gets flagged as a virus. So whenever you try to launch FX2, or possibly while you're extracting the files, this will occur. All right. That's it. So let's get to installing. Oh, one thing I also want to do. So right now this is set up to F, and I just want to show everybody that it doesn't matter what your drive letter is for this to work. We're just going to go in here, we're going to choose a random letter. S. I haven't done S before. I don't think so. Okay. First things first. Well, we might as well walk through this. All right, so let's jump into Pinball Emporium. Oop, let's look at the F drive again. All right, so I have Pinball Emporium in my S drive. This is my first time installing it, so we're gonna head into first time install. And all we're gonna do is click the install.bat. Now, we can run through each individual separately, or we can do a full install, which is number one. The reason for this is just if, like, say you're having issues with Future Pinball, you can just run through the Future Pinball part of the install. But we want to do everything, so we're going to do type 1 for full install. All right, so first things first, have you downloaded, installed, and logged into Steam? I have done that. Steam is running right now. You can see in the bottom corner. With FX3, you will need to have Steam running, and the only tables that will be available are the ones that you purchased. If you do have a, we'll go into that afterwards, actually. All right, so yes, we've downloaded and installed it, yes. Okay. Have you downloaded, installed, and ran FX3? So I've downloaded, I've installed, I have not run it yet. So we're gonna launch Steam really quick. Where's my library? There it is. Okay, so that's the only thing I got in here. We're gonna hit play. All right, it's doing all the prerequisite installs right now. Just gonna, that should be going fast. I don't need to pause the video. We'll go over after this if you have your own version of FX3 on how to get that going. But this is how to get the Steam version up and running. Either way, you will need to run FX3 from Steam initially. So this step doesn't change whether you're bringing it from your own source or from using the Steam version. Almost done. All right, here we go. It's done all of its installs. Now, the other thing you're going to need with FX3 is you're going to need a cabinet code. And you can find that on the Zen Studios website, or we have a link in our Discord that you can go to. But if you're playing on a cabinet, you will need a cabinet code. And if you'd like to even launch FX3 tables from the front end, you will need a cabinet code. So make sure you get that. It's completely free. You just need to send a picture to them of your setup. I'm going to turn down this volume so you guys can hear me well. All right. All right, welcome back. So when I click on my cabinet, it shows me this information. All right, that's it. We just need to launch it. We can exit now. Finally, if there's any chance you might be using a cabinet that does not have internet access all the time, one thing you can do is right-click on FX3. Excuse me. We're going to go into Properties. We're going to go to Launch Options, off, and we're going to type Offline. And then if you were running Steam and needed to also launch, and then you also need to turn off Steam, or you need to run Steam in offline mode, which you'll have to Google that. I don't really know how to do that off the top of my head. Anyway, all right, so close that. We're still running it in the taskbar. So have we downloaded, installed, and ran FX3 at least once? So yes, we have. We're gonna hit enter. Okay, so now this is new for people that have installed this before. This is kind of a new setup. So you need to locate where your Steam folder is. So mine is in my C drive in my programs file. I'm assuming most of yours are the same way, but you may have it in a different drive letter. You might have, D:/Steam. So wherever your Steam exe is located, that's where you want to go. So I'm going to go into the C drive, into here. I'm going to take my Steam folder and just drag it up. All right, so that's what it should look like. We're going to hit enter. All right. Now, some people use a different drive for their Steam games. Even on this computer, I actually have a separate drive where I store my other Steam games. So this is where my Steam library is. If your Pinball FX3 is saved in a different location, that's what you'd be driving up here, or dragging up here. So this would be the Steam library, and the next folder would be Steam apps. Mine still happens to be in my C drive, so I'm going to go back to that. I'll just go back one more. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to drag that in here. It's wherever, the key thing is what that folder should have the Steam apps folder, common, Pinball FX3, data, and Steam. And you can see there. All right, so there's all tables. And actually I can show you this while we're doing it, so you can see what's going on here. So what we're doing here is actually adding all the backglass into the Steam library. So you can see all the backglass is being added. And that's it. We are now ready to go with Pinball FX3. All right, next up, Future Pinball. So are we ready to install? Yes, we are. All right, when prompted, install Future Pinball in the Pinball Emporium emulator folder. So example here is the eDrive Pinball Emporium emulators and Future Pinball. You want to make sure the Future Pinball only says it there once, and we'll go over that in a second. At the end of the install, it will ask you if you'd like to launch BAM, and then exit the program. Okay, accept, next. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. We want to go to Browse, and wherever you save the Pinball Emporium folder, so mine is in my S drive, Pinball Emporium, and the emulators folder. What you don't want to do is click on the Future Pinball folder, because now you can see we have emulators, Future Pinball. This is just going to cause errors. All right, so we're clicking on the emulators folder. Hit OK. We're going to hit next. Yes, we know it already exists. All right, so like I said, we're going what it says up here, we want to launch BAM after this. Now it's launched, and now we quit it. That's it. All right, has Future Pinball finished installing? Yes, it has. All right, ready to run the Future Pinball. Once the table runs, exit the table and exit Future Pinball. That's all we're going to do. We're going to wait for the table to run, and then we're going to exit. Nope, I'm going to mute my... Oh, no. All right. I don't know if I muted my audio soon enough. Last time I got a takedown notice for that. All right, so it's launched. You can see the pinball machine is working. We're now going to hit escape. All right, has Future Pinball run the table and have you exited? I guess it's ran the table. I got to fix that. All right, we're going to do a quick registry edit. There we go. Future Pinball is done. All right. Visual Pinball X. All right. Just like Future Pinball, we're going to save it into the emulators folder. During the install, I will ask if you have backglass. If so, click yes and set up B2S server for your second monitor. Really just set up whatever you want. We're going to take care of this later, but yeah, just click yes and make a backglass. All right. Also, during the DirectX part of the install, be sure to uncheck Install Bing Toolbar. Nobody wants that. So hit enter. Hit next. Okay, so right now it wants to go to the C drive, but we actually want to save it into the Emporium folder. I'm sorry, the emulator folder. Again, don't click on Visual Pinball. You only want to click on emulators. If you click here, it's going to say, oop, it actually fixed itself. I guess only Future Pinball screws up like that. Nevertheless, just be safe and click on the emulators folder. So just make sure it says it once. All right, we're going to hit next. We're going to hit install. Go to accept, hit next. No Bing toolbar. Oh shit, my mouse slipped. If this seems a little kind of jaggedy to you guys, that's because I'm actually streaming it to another computer over remote desktop. So if it seems stuttery, that's because of the remote desktop part, not because of the build. I have OBS running plus remote desktop. All right, so we're gonna hit close. All right, do we know the backglass? Hit yes. All right, that's my backglass setup. Like I said, you can kind of just skip right past that because the display mode was going to take care of that for us. All right, has Visual Pinball been installed? Yes, it has. We're going to hit enter. We're ready to run Visual Pinball. Once the table runs, exit the table and exit Visual Pinball. Just like we did for, what did we just do it on? Future Pinball. All right, you're going to get these weird errors asking if you're old enough or if you're allowed. I can't remember. So, yes, I'm allowed to play. You can see in the small monitor in the bottom, the backglass is already loading up. And that's it. We're loaded. You can either hit Q and Q again to get out or hit Alt F4. So I'm just going to hit Q and hit Q one more time. And close Visual Pinball. And now we're going to hit enter. We're going to do a bunch of registry edits. Not sure why it's popping up behind my... It's really weird. All right, VPX has finished installing. Next up, we're going to install the pinup player. So you're about to be asked twice to make changes. Click yes both times. Pinup's done. Easiest pinup setup you've ever installed, right? All right, you have finished installing Pinball Emporium. You will now be taken to the setup to set up your display modes. Where this is taking you is actually, I have to restart my remote desktop. It's being weird. Where this is taking you, oh my god, is actually to this display mode back right here. So in case you're wondering, this is where you can make changes. So if you're switching from a desktop to a cabinet, you can easily do that here. All right, so click yes. All right, so our setup, we're going to be setting up for a cabinet. So we're going to hit C. Moving some files, doing some shit. All right, and our backglass is going to be 1080. We're going to do 2 registry edits. I don't know what the hell's going on with this. And that's it. I got registry edit. So there we go. I'm going to... All right, so we're going to switch over to cabinet mode. We're going to hide OBS here. And then we're going to head into the personal. So I saved both these pictures here. Oop, I thought I did. All right, so in here's wallpaper. If you want to add the wallpaper, you can. All the old versions are in here too. So we're going to add the cabinet one. We're going to go to browse, and we're going to add the desktop one. Now that's going to change both of them. So now I got one sideways, one not. The way to fix this, we're going to right click on the cabinet one, and we're going to set that to monitor 1. And now, there you go. We're all set up. One final thing, and I forgot to mention this at the beginning because I've already taken care of it. If you right click on your taskbar, and we're going to taskbar settings, you can see on mine the back glass does not show the taskbar. And so we do that. Let's see, show taskbar on all displays. We want that off, and that way you don't see it on the back glass. All right, guys, we're time to run this thing. See, we're gonna go to Pinball Emporium. Oh, we'll do one more thing. All right, properties, change icon. Yep, it's in a new location. Browse. Okay. Also, if you want to make an icon out on the desktop, open up the shortcut folder. We're going to drag this to the desktop. We're going to right click on it and go to properties. And so wherever you're located, so we just did the C or the S drive, right? So we're going to change that to S. We're going to change that to S. I think that's the only place we need to change it, yeah. Same thing, change icon. Okay, and now we got Pinball Emporium on our desktop. You can't move this shortcut because it's using a different type of path, but in the shortcuts you can set it up so you have a desktop, or drag this into your startup folder, and so that Pinball Emporium launches when you start up. Finally, we're going to go into Joy to Key, and we're going to launch that, because this will set up all your key setups for Emporium. We have now a button section and an X input. X input is Xbox controller or anything like that. So, oops, I just realized you guys are looking at this sideways. My bad. Let's switch back over here really quick. So, I hope you saw all that. You should be fine. I trust you guys. So if you're mapping buttons to like a cabinet, this is what you want to use, and here's the what each thing does. So left shift, right shift, left control, right control, X, Y, enter, escape, Alt F4, C, D, and space. Those are all the buttons that are mapped so that you can map your buttons. If you're using an Xbox controller, I've set them up this way. However you want to do it. If you want to change these around so that starting, the select button is your coin and your start is your plunger, I don't care. But these are the, you need to match them up with these buttons to the function buttons. All right, so we're going to do buttons because I have a small cabinet, and that's what we're going to use. We're going to close that. We can see down here that it is running. All right, now we can launch it. All right. We're going to go back into cabinet mode. And we'll just launch it from the desktop because that's right there. There you go. There's the new Pinball 3.6 video for you. And if you're new to, or I'm sure, sorry, if you used the old versions of Pinball Emporium, you can see now we have a backglass marquee. And even if you have a third monitor, what that will do is if you have a third monitor connected, it's going to show you the menu. And as you can see, the menu's kind of disappeared and allows us to watch the table. So as we go through here, we have all custom marquees. I spent 3 days building these, so you're not going to find them anywhere else but Pinball Emporium, unless somebody took them. But here's all the tables. You're going to hit the right control and move over. Your favorites menu. Some people didn't know this. C and D adds and removes favorites. So, which is coin and start, however you have that set up. So some people thought that favorites were like locked in and it was only my favorites. But no, these are your favorites. I just have a couple tables in there. And honestly, these are more test tables than they are my favorite tables. So, all right, the new one I want to show you guys is FX3. So let's launch a new table. So Space Station is the new one. You can see how that launches now. And there you go. So this is actually launching it through Steam. I guess I was playing this before. All right. And so we're going to hit the Alt F4 button to get out of there. Go over to Future Pinballs, just choose a random table. Probably should have chose one that would launch a little quicker, but oh well. Alright, there we go. We got our
Good luck.
The force will be with you.
pinball, I'm sorry, Future Pinball setup.
All wings reporting. Good 5 standing by.
Really break that. So I must have had some weird settings on here. You can hit Q and change your settings if you'd want. But anyway, let's go back and just run through another couple tables. Alright. We're going to hit spacebar or nudge forward as our random table picker. Do you guys know that? I don't know. That's another thing I never really mentioned. So start and select, C and D, adds and removes from favorites, and nudge forward or spacebar lets you choose a random table. So let's load like Wheel of Fortune. That's one of our new ones. All right, there we go. DMD loaded, backglass loaded, and table loaded. Gonna hit our escape button to get out of there. Let's load one that has a DMD. I want to make, or a, what's that called? Ultra DMD. I want to make sure those are working for you guys. There we go, Ultra DMD loaded, Young Frankenstein backglass loaded finally. Great table to play. Actually, the table's okay. It kind of looks very cheesy, but this is one of my favorite movies, so I had to include it. The table's fun. It's very cartoon looking, but it's still a fun table and a great movie. All right, and finally, the ones that everybody wants to play are the pinup tables. So let's load a new pinup table that wasn't in the last version. I can't remember if Spider-Man was in there. Lord of the Rings was definitely in there. Bugs was definitely in there. RoboCop was in there. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that wasn't in there. Alright, there we go, guys. All loaded. Backlash is loaded. We can insert coins. Maybe if it really wants to. There it goes. Alright. Alright, it's a little stuttery, and again, that's because I'm running OBS. I'm on a remote desktop doing all this work. It's not going to be that stuttery for you guys unless you're on a low machine. But just know that that's because of the remote desktop and OBS. Alright, let's exit out of there. And that's it, guys. That's how easy it is to get 304, tables working instantly. I've gone through these tables one by one. I might have missed a couple things. If I did, hit me up on the Discord and I'll take care of it. But there is a ton of fun tables on here. They all have custom back glasses, marquees. So, even the tables, we've had a couple people help us with tables. Elgato 5 has done some videos. Who is it? VPX, World of VPX. Oh, I guess I held the button too long. No. All right, World of VPX YouTube channels where we got a couple of these tables, but most of them are, me and another guy just sitting playing the tables, getting the videos. So the menu system is all created by myself. Like I said, the back glass, all the media. I've gone through every one of these tables. This isn't a table pack. This is, this is something I've really spent a lot of time in, multiple days and hours trying to get this together, weeks putting all this together for you guys. There's been some people in the community that have not been too happy about what I do here, but it's, I do it for you guys. I do it, for my friends, for myself, but I'm never trying to, screw out any of the creators or people like Terry Reed, who, really are like the founders of, the pinup tables and the pin event tables and all this kind of stuff. All of this content is things you can do. But you're going to have to sit through hours and hours of tutorials and understanding the back end of these scripts. And some people just want to play pinball, and that's what I'm here for, is, in, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, you can have a working system. You can have 300 tables that your, kids, daughter, whoever, wife, husband can just play. That's just going to be ready for you guys. I'm not trying to, screw out table creators or ruin it for other people, or, some people think that you have, you have to go to every single site and get the information yourself. It's like, some people just can't do that, and some people just want to play. We're not in that kind of world anymore. I'm here to help. I built this thing. It's not just something I slapped together. I've spent time, taking what these creators have done and making something that I think is quite wonderful. One thing we have done that we have neglected in the past, which I'm sorry I have, is, in here is a list of the credits of, where we got the tables, and from there you can find out who built them and ask them questions or give them props. But, from Pinup and Pup Pack with Terry Reed to when this all started with Pinball FX3, which was a build from CoinOps and BP. That's where this started, was a fork off of CoinOps. Now we've moved quite far from there, but this did start with his little build. Menus and images, like I said, are mostly created by myself. And we've scoured a few videos from Elgato 5, helped me with some originally, and World of VPX, which you can find here on the YouTube channel to, support him. And, that's where we got some videos just to kind of speed up time because, you think like, man, like, oh, I got to make a 35-second video. Like, that's hard. Try to play, pinball for 35 seconds straight without, guttering. It's like sometimes, you have to go through like, $6 worth of coins. But anyway, I hope if you're just doing the install, you're ignoring me talking right now because the install is done. You've seen the tables play. I'm sure you're having a bunch of time. You just want to go have fun. If you have any questions, head over to our Discord. There's a link in the README file. And read the README file because there's a lot of people that don't. In here, it will give you what's changed, some quick updates. If you want to do Pinball FX3, if you don't own all tables, there's an include list, so you can just remove them from the include list. So that will help that out. You can also add items to the exclude list. So anyway, there is a non-Steam version of FX3. Excuse me. If that's what you have, what you need to do is put that into the Pinball FX3 folder. So put it in here, the files. It shouldn't be Pinball FX3. So put the files in here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into the launcher. And here is for the non-Steam version. It is looking for, you can look in here, it's looking for FX3 inside the FX3 emulator folder. So you're going to swap these two files out, back this guy up, and then rename the non-Steam version just Pinball FX3. Finally, you're going to go into Collections, FX3, and same thing. You're going to swap these out. Oops, don't need that one. You're going to swap these two out. You're going to name this back up, and then set this just to settings.config. And that will get non-Steam versions of FX3 working in this build. So that's it, guys. If you want to ask questions, head over to the Discord. You can find me there. There's an invite link here. I'm always there hanging out. I get notifications on my phone because I really like helping you guys. But yeah, come by. We got pinball tournaments. Come be in the pinball tournament. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of really good people in there. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've enjoyed making the program. Let me know what you guys think of the setup. Let me know what tables you want to see. Go to the Discord. There's a table request folder or channel. Get something added for 3.7. It's a lot, or whatever the next version is. But that's it, guys. There'll be other videos. I will try to link a video below here for custom play fields and backglass, because I know not all of you are running two 1080p monitors, and the ones that are included don't cover the complete spread of people out there. So I'm going to make another video showing you what you need to do to update that. But that's it, guys. Enjoy Pinball Emporium. Come to the Discord. Come say hi. Show me your builds. Show me what you want to see next. Take care.